Let's get back to work. Well, the technology needs help. Having a human that is a central communication and focal point for religion to save us from scientific genocidal operations. Like I told you guys early on when I first started posting on social media, that if science disproves your religion, then it's obviously mythology and not religion. But if you have science without religion, it's genocidal. Right? And science without morals, without values, without humility, without wisdom, without understanding, okay, is the Manhattan Project, is the U2, is the, and so when you do not understand eternity and you try to negate the essence of your eternity, which is, the religious communication of what's happening with our lives through, eternity. In the East they call it karma, and what's the thing called? Reincarnation. You get these people that say they're Christians or Muslims and stuff and say, I don't believe in reincarnation. It's like, yes, you do. You can read your books. Okay. The prayer and the revelation is about what you refer to as, quote, reincarnation. There's a guy that's like the next guy, that's like the next guy, talking faithfully, eternally, giving you valid religion. Okay. But it's not reincarnation. That's a fallacy given to you by people that turn it into kind of mystical, magical karma crap. How karma will get you, and that's not true. Krishnamurti said that. He said it's not true. Okay, for thousands of years in India, he's going to come back as a banana slug, and you're going to come back as the Raj if you be this self-righteous, hypocritical martyr and don't raise a hand up to stop him, And the thing is, when someone is poisoning you with legal contracts and murdering cowards, and you refuse to stand up, I refuse to go all John Wick and go to my dad's gun safe and go to White Sands and just start killing people and working on programs and hacking into their computers and getting a laptop and hacking into all the drones at White Sands and using them to kill all the people that use linguistics to sexually compromise my family with virtual presence and Wi-Fi. And when I start if I start going all John Wick, if I start going all Brad Pitt and Edward Norton, and stuff, how is that going to give us the Lord's Prayer? How is that going to give us a standard of a kind, courageous man who stands up for the spoken word of the Gospels? Okay, how in ancient times, okay, in Samson's time with the Philistines, you deal with things the way that you need to deal with it to get the job done. Okay, David with the Philistines, Jesus with the Romans, right? Muhammad with the Meccans and the Romans, and Saladin with the Pope and the mullahs. Okay, you deal with the situation to the best of your ability through relative faithful forms of communication, right? And they keep telling me this, Earl. This is the first time any one of us, okay, the perfect case, right? I'm a fisher of men. Okay. This is the first time one of us perfect people like Job and Jonah and Jesus and Muhammad and John, okay, has ever had this extensive study, scientific, virtual, prove it, Jesus, prove it, Earl, And the thing that's frustrated me a lot recently is that, this was already proved by Sun Yat-sen, Judah Krishnamurti, probably pretty much in that order because of even though Taro Suzuki, yeah, because they went looking for Krishnamurti first and established him first, but then with Suzuki, yes, and then so there was Sun Yat-sen was the first. He was the oldest and the one that started, the line of quote Confucius, and then there was Krishnamurti, Taro Suzuki, and Haile Selassie all around the same time. So you had these four men, okay, from all these tribal religious perspectives of all this prophecy, that went and did everything the way that it was supposed to be done to redeem the Gospels. Four of them. Okay. You have one from Japan, one from China, one from India, and one from Africa. Okay. And the pagan tribes from the north, in the documentation of the stories, they're not involved. Okay. They don't become involved till Earl. Okay. I'm British. It's nice to meet you. I'm British. My name's Earl Parsons. Ragnarok. Ralph. The redneck hillbilly NASCAR second coming of me father. Son of Mary, son of Mary. People say he's a fairy, but he's actually a lesbian space princess. I'm a lesbian dude. Stupid thing. Okay, stupid cartoons on TV. But so I'm a lesbian too. I like to look. Me too. I know in time I'll be able to have an affectionate rest of my life with a woman real soon. It's something I look forward to, but I know it's going to take a little time because it's going to take me a little time to recover from this depression, guys. I'm affected by depression. I'm not depressed. I'm tired. Okay, Emily's depressed. Natalie goes through depression. Kate gets depressed. Noah gets depressed. Patrick gets depressed. Right. I'm not depressed. Well, I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. I'm empathetic and respectful. Okay. So their depression affects me. Okay. And those kids especially, Patrick and Aime's kids, yes. Okay. They go through hideous bouts of depression. I'm perfect like Job, Jonah, and Jesus. I'm living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. I dove into the bowels of hell and did exactly what those four men said I would do. Okay. Without a doubt, right? Knock it out the park, Earl. Knock it out, Earl. Tell us a story, Uncle Early. Well, that's a little story I'd like to tell, right? And so, I done did my job. I'm done. We're done here, like Jack Nixon used to say on the sportscast at New Mexico State. We're done here, and so there's nothing going on here that's a secret. There's nothing going on here that's a mystery. La 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 mystery. Who done gone? Me, Ryan Hall, back in the service. Who gone gone and done gone and done that thing down, did all right. That was about getting busy, but you can't get busy until Earl done gone and done did that thing down all right? Love, true love is forever, right? And so I'm watching the people on Entertainment Tonight. They all just completely lost their minds, but you can't live the Gospels for other people, right? You cannot live them for other people. You can't do it for them. But I can carry it for you, Mr. Baggins. No. I can correct their taxpayer dollar technology, okay, to protect the children from them denying the living Gospels. Okay. Now, I can't make them, hey, step up or prep up. Okay, go fuck yourself in the ass till you die. Try to lick each other's coochies till your kidneys could shut down. Right? You're going to do what you're going to do. You're going to go get drunk. You're going to go get high. You're going to go race NASCARs. You're going to go race Formula Ones. You're going to do what you're going to do. Even though it was blatantly obvious that you're all crazy bullshit artists by, Jiddu Krishnamurti at the UN in 1985, right? It was like, okay, it's hit the apex here. It's hit the apex here, right? And that was the apex of, this is what these guys are really about, okay? They really tried to cover up Sun Yat-sen. Okay. And then the cover up of Selassie was blatantly obvious and hideous too. And the tribal sex cult dysfunction effects of her, they're just faith forsaken, fucking embarrassing. All right. It's as embarrassing as lesbian space princess, yes. Okay, moving on up, they finally got a piece of the pie. And so they call it greed. I got a seat, I need a piece of fucking pie. So and he gets into stamp, right, and he gets stacked in the mouth like Thelonious Smiles, right. Son of a bitch, we just need more of that money to fuck, don't we? Yeah. What was with the whole forgive debt and trespass and love one and the faithful thing being the standard of faithful human behavior, and the usury and the idolatry through usury, idolatry and usury being that hideous sin, for the want of and the love of your invention to replace the truth of creation being the root of all evils there. Well, God damn, we're so fucking illiterate. And what's hilarious, okay, is that the restoration of the words to be literate, to get technology to literally work right, came from a kid born in New Mexico. I might as well have been born in Mississippi, right? Mississippi, goddamn, right? Who just loves the living snot out of the Ruffins and Charlie Pride. I think it's great, man. I do too. Anna, Mrs. Kiss, Whippy Cotton picking Delta Town. One dusty street to walk up and down. Nothing much here but a starving hound in a Mississippi down in the Delta where I was born. Kind of a lot like here. Yep. Mississippi. Anna, Rio Grande cotton picking. It's not a delta here. We're not down by the ocean like there is in Mississippi, y'all. But we in the. I can see the candle in her window. Every night she said would brightly burn. I can travel anywhere the wind blows, but my heart tells me I must return to the valley of the Rio Grande. Don't everybody love that guy, right? You don't? Well, there's no accounting for taste, no way, no how, right? But you guys are the most literate people in the history of the Connecticut, right? Hey, look, it's a William F. Buckley grad. Hey, what we doing here in New Mexico and Mississippi? Earl, you're funny. I know. You think these guys know who I am? You think they do? You think any of these people really know who Earl is? La-dee-da-dee-dum, la-dee-da-dee-dum. What's the name of that Messiah? I don't believe that you are. They don't believe I'm the Messiah. You can't say that. What do you mean I can't say that? They said the same thing to Jesus and to Muhammad. Yeah, Medina Charter, go read it. And the guy sat and told them, I don't believe you're the Messiah, but I'm going to sign it because I don't want everybody, Right now, I got to stay in business. This is a lot like a Perry Mason case, isn't it, though? But it's like, sitting there looking at it and going, what? Yeah, my mom met her, and so did my dad, yeah. My mom tried to compliment her and insulted the hell out of her, and then she asked my dad to take her to Juarez. It's funny. Guys, my life is like, you could not write down and it's not going to be turned into a movie. Well, because forgive debt and trespass, love one, turn on fifth feast. So Jasmine Guy, if she has grandkids, she can go bake some pie with, some sweet potato pie for grandkids. Yeah. She don't need to pretend to be nobody on a college campus, no way, no how. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. If we have a college campus, we have a few buildings for get-together. I don't know. I think a lot of your college campuses, guys, you are probably going to dismantle a lot of them. Okay, there was so much heinous activity through tribalism and elitism, I don't know what you guys are going to do. That's your decision. Okay, if you want to leave them up as a constant reminder of no one is completely worthless, they can always be used as as a bad example. I mean, you probably don't want to throw the baby out with it. If the buildings function and are helpful for large get-togethers, to share ideas and get people together. So that instead of doing these kind of commercials, they can sit there and go, one enchanted evening, you may see your true love. And then the guy leaves the dance and he goes, Maria, the most beautiful sound I've ever heard. Maria, 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 I just met a girl named Maria, and suddenly I found how wonderful a sound can be. Maria, Maria, right? Maria, I just kissed a girl. I kissed a girl named Maria. Yeah. She was pretty. She was older than me. She's about 10 years older than me. I had a son that was 8 or 9 years old, and she had one that was 20 or 21 and another one that was 18. Earl was 21, named after his dad. And which is why when she came up to us, your name's Earl, like my ex-husband. And I was like, oh wow, you won't hold that against me, will you? Like Stephanie, I used to joke with her about that. Your name's Stephanie. That's my ex-wife's name. I'm not going to hold that against you though, Stephanie. She'd always laugh at me and go, Earl, you're such I have a sense of humor. I do. And then Robert. Robert was a lot like Tim Allen. Yeah, he was hilarious. He was also a single dad. There was Steve Smith, me, Robert, and old Maxine. You're just a fox in the hen house. She goes, they're all in this here. They're all foxes in the hen house. But you got to be the top fox in the hen house. I ain't trying to be nobody's. No, Maxine didn't know. All Maxine had to ask. She just had to come up and say, Earl, what? Just like that's what Maria did. She came up and said, I'm a grown woman, and I know about the story about your ex-wife. Yeah, okay. You got needs, Earl. And I said, yeah, I do. She goes, I do too. Okay. I was like, I love you. I love you. I love you. She didn't beat around. She went straight to the point. John Nash would have walked up to her and said, this woman is a genius, because it didn't have anything to do with money. And it was definitely sharing love to survive survival. And that's what she did. Right? My mom died from cancer. Her mom had lupus and also had cancer complications too. And she needed someone, like Terry McMillan novels with what's her name again? The one I got a crush on, Rudy's Blue Coat of Blood. What's her name again? Angie Bassett and Wesley Pipes. Yeah. With the white lady that was dying from cancer, So. Got to be there, got to be there. It's so horrible how dysfunctional our lives are when we're not living truthfully and we're not able to love faithfully. All right. We're there for one another? No, we're not. We're not standing up for the Lord's Prayer. We're not standing up for a living Messiah. We're sitting there going and watching CGI, okay, pretending to be somebody that we didn't see because they're dead, okay, and now we get to go see the show, and we go to Las Vegas and we pay money for a computer developer to make us say, oh, this is one of the best shows I ever saw. I did see Chuck Berry at Magic Mountain, and he did the duck walk, and I don't know if it was singing My Ding-a-Ling that made us lose our voice, but going on the Revolution once and then talking to Crips into climbing over everybody in the line so we could go on the Colossus twice. Okay, old Ray Bartlett. It was funny. It was a class comedian like me and Bob with Dave and Sal running naked in the ski mask at the graduation at Deer Valley. Ray comes up there and starts saying, somebody needs to do something about this. And he said it right by these two Crip dudes. So these two Crip guys start climbing over the ropes over everybody in line to go to the front of the line, right? This is ridiculous, making us wait here. And Ray says it right in front of these two Crips, okay? And these Crips start doing that. And then Ray goes behind them and goes, oh, somebody's got to call security and do something about that. Look at that. Oh, my gosh. Look, everybody, look. He used them as a distraction. And we all followed. There was like 10 of us, okay? And we're all following Ray going, well, okay, what are we doing here, Ray? And as soon as they're all staring at these two black young gentlemen with their with their blue bandanas and everything, me and the Crips. And they're climbing over everybody in line and just stepping up to the front of the thing and trying to get on the ride, right? And the security guards come up and take these two young black men and run them out of the park, right? And just then, me and Ray Salvatore step into the first one, sit in and go, okay, let's go. And Ray's sitting there and I'm like, you know, you're funny, you're genius, but I see why, Kelly Scanlon don't want to trust you. How can you trust somebody like that? No, shit was funny though, man. I was like, how did he just pull that off? I mean, Adam Sandler and Mike Myers would be proud, right? It's just so funny. We're sitting there, those two guys got thrown out the park. But the funny thing about it is the two Crips that did it, okay, they did not get arrested. They did not get abused by the police. They just got thrown out the park. And to them, it was worth it. Fuck this line. Let's just climb over everybody. And they did it. And it was hilarious. Okay. But we didn't have camera phones to show you our pets kicking the shit out of each other. Look at the dog smacking the cat because he's playing with the chew toy. Isn't that funny? No, it was hilarious. And guess what? Philip Rothschild and David Rockefeller, we caught him on camera. It wasn't me. It was all the shit. It was, Earl stealing the party with no-dos and coke and not realizing he was the best dancer at Disneyland that night with all those kids coming for spring fling. There's tons of high school kids from all over. Okay. And the best dancer at the beach was, I didn't even know I was dancing. Kelly just called me out there and let me dance. And Ray's like, you stole the show and you dance with the girl. It's not the girl you love. It's the girl you want to bone. And she hit on me twice yeah, she did. I was completely and utterly flattered. And if I hadn't run into Ray Bartlett, I would have spent all spring fling having sex with Kelly Scanlon every chance I got. Yeah. She was that good looking, guys. She was one of the best. He had a crush on her for a reason, okay? She was a blonde with a full figure with the camel toe, the pants went up and whoa, like the girls on the car commercials, selling you cars, and went up and went, whoa, that looks like, whoa, that'd be fun. You know how they wear their pants like that back then. And so she's sitting there and I was like, yeah, I'd like to get all up in that. I know I wouldn't hurt her and I wouldn't want to hurt her, but I would want to try to make sure that she, the Energizer Bunny of Love kept it going, and she was on birth control. So we would have been like, I ain't stupid. It's better than the Revolution. Definitely better than Spin and Barf. Better than going to the Chuck Berry store. Yeah, she'd be playing with my ding-a-ling. Mr. Coach Marchese is like, hey, we're both 19. It's more age appropriate. You're 40. Take luck. Okay, you'll be okay. You'll get over it. Okay. Oh gosh, no. She was fun. She was confident. She was really neat. I just couldn't because Ray, sat there and as soon as we started, I'm completely in love with her. I would like to hook up with her on this trip and, meet my love for life. Kelly Scanlon. She's dating Miss Coach Marchese, you know that, right? So it's like telling him that. She's dating Coach Marchese. I don't think it's that serious, is what he said. I said, okay, well, we'll see where this goes. She propositioned me twice. She never propositioned Ray. It was devastating. And then when she came and got me to dance all night with her, because I was the best dancer at all our high school dances and stuff, yeah, it was kind of, I was like almost incoherent, okay? I wasn't used to staying up that late and doing all that stuff. They gave me no-dos and kept giving me Coca-Colas and saying, here, Earl, come on, your life of the party, stay up. And I'm like, guys, I just want to come over here and sit in the corner and I was going to go back to the hotel because right next to Disneyland, I was going to go back to the hotel and just fall asleep. It was the Beach Boys. It wasn't like it was Cameo. I don't think they had Wayne Cooper by then. Okay, it wasn't, they had already broke up and Gwen Dickey wasn't with the band. Okay, it wasn't like, no, Shalimar had broken up by then too. Trying to think. I keep trying to sleep, but sleep won't be mine tonight. Now I'm lonely in love. I don't know. I just wasn't, it's the Beach Boys. I like the Beach Boys. But if I'm going to dance, right, it's going to be the cameos. It's going to be on the one, We're on the one and we're having fun, I would have really tore the place out. It'd been like, look at that white boy go. Okay. He looked like he from Soul Train and shit. Yeah. They didn't have my music. I mean, I danced and I had fun. But I mean, if they had my music, I'd be like, that's my joint, that's my cut right there. I'm up, y'all. All right, But they never. I always went to schools that were mostly white schools. So when I went to the dances, there was Journey at Deer Valley. They did play because there was break-in and crush groove and all. So they did play songs we could dance to, like "Oh Ee Oh Ee Oh." Jungle Love, yeah, and other things in Prince tunes. I would die for you, right? But not the kind of music I practice dancing to, like On the One, Cameosis, I Owe You One, Make You Feel Like Dancing. What's the other one? There's Make You Feel Like Dancing. What's the other one, y'all? The dance tune that was Make You Feel Like Dancing, dancing, don't it feel good? Do You Dance, that's it. I like that one even better than Make You Feel Like Dancing, the name for the king. Yeah. My favorite is Do You Dance. Do you dance to the rhythm, show you stuff, just having fun, do you dance? Yeah, everybody else loves that. Bum, 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 bum. Everybody loves that song, right? No? Good music makes you feel like this. You're going to get down. Get busy. Do you dance? Do you dance? Bum 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 bum. Ba-doom, boom boom, ba-doom. I mean, that is such a good. You can do all kinds of moves to ba-doom, boom boom, ba-doom, boom boom boom, ba-doom, boom 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 boom. All right, you guys, you know what I'm saying? Okay, maybe I'm just me, but it's so good, So that was like, I think, one of my favorite ones. Of course, Wayne Cooper, one of the best falsettos in the history of all R&B falsettos. Just on that album alone. You got Shake Your Pants, We're Going Out Tonight, On the One. Larry knew. Okay, Larry knew. I have Wayne Cooper. Shit. I not only gotta do Why Have I Lost You, but I'm also gonna get this guy's falsetto and I'm gonna write dance to him and he's gonna make your body move, yeah. We're all the one, and we're having fun. Whoa, wow, yeah, he's gonna, yeah. Larry knew. I've got Jenkins here, and I got Cooper here, and we got an excellent horn section, and we go to, yeah. And every other thing you like to do, I like the way you make me feel. Whatever you do, make sure the feelings are yow, yow, boom, 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 boom. Right? So if they had played one of my songs, boy, then I'd really be legend. But it was the Beach Boys. So I was dancing, but I wasn't tearing it up. Like I used to practice in the basement in Colville to Val's Records. Watching Make You Feel Like Dancing from Canada. Okay. Well, they didn't have as much Soul Train on up there, but they did have Make You Feel Like Dancing from Canada. I think it was from Toronto. I'm not sure if it was from Vancouver. I don't know. I think it was from Toronto. Can't tell you for sure. Okay. But, yeah, dummies. You do know money's not real, right? Okay. You do know doing things on the television for idolatry through usury is a sin. Okay, well, I'm certain is the Jerton and the curtain and the boobadabadoo, the zamp and the lamp and the nella. I'm certain that quantum computing, okay, has been aware since before they took Parsons to Cochise County. Okay. And I think their attempts of destroying me was trying to take away any effects, like, say, maybe they had found a way or decided to shut down the kids they plugged into the computers. Okay. Guys, even though, you take a person like Neo, right, and you plug them into a computer, okay? That's still a human being. They can still live vicariously through being used as a computer spy network, right? To influence, and when they plugged, I felt this stuff when we went and they told me about it. It's really hard on my son Patrick, but makes you want to. Yeah, it does make you want to physically kill people that would do that to a baby. Yes, you physically want to get your bare hands and just kill them. As you don't want to torture them, because you don't want doing what they did to your child doesn't make it right. You're plugging them in. Why would you want to plug them in the computer and have them have a virtual presence in people's houses to try to calm them down so they can keep what's an aspect of they consider control over people with technology? Why would you want to take a complete cell like that and plug them in the computer and say, here you go? They couldn't handle it. Okay, they're not good enough to protect people from that kind of mind manipulation. Okay, it took a child from this man through Chief Gilliard's daughter to do it. Okay, because you needed exceptional DNA. To protect children from people like, the people that gave you the U-2, the SR-71, the nuclear weapon, the propaganda movies to say, we had to do it, we had no choice. The thermocoupling had done that, you had no choice, or you had to shut her down, right? So when you sit and look at it, it's really hard to talk about. Talk about anything and everything, the most mundane, ridiculous things about doing this kind of crap on TV for idolatry and usually and smiling for the camera and say, Peg, it will come back to you. And you don't want to talk about Uriah. You don't want to talk about Andre. You don't want to talk about Vanessa. You don't want to sing, today was to be a day of fun and fiesta. Trying to explain to a young girl, why she was taken out of her mother's womb and plugged into a computer to manipulate people's brain activity to keep them looking irrational because their religious beliefs are archaic. And she killed the children because she believed she was sending them to heaven. But I thought suicide was a sin. It is. That's why Mom strangled them and didn't have them kill themselves. Well, you don't understand the Catholic faith too well, do you? She was trying to save her kids from your sin. She was trying to get them out of hell. Like Amy told me. This is hell. It's a prison. We have to kill ourselves and kill the kids so we can get out of here. And I kept telling her, it's all science understands it doesn't work that way. As long as there are children born that are temples for the souls of these children and for us, it's just a temporary attempt at a solution to a perpetual problem. It's not a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. It says that in the Bible. It says that in the Quran. It says that in the Book of Mormon. It says that in the Abrahamic Bible. It says that in the Torah. Okay, so you can't say, I don't believe in the Hindus, I don't believe in the Buddhists, I don't believe in the Shintos, I don't believe it. You're fooling yourself, you don't believe it, right? You can't say that, right? You can't say you don't believe the same religion as the Buddhists, the Hindus, and the Shintos, okay? Because there's an omniscient God, the origin of all things, like Judeo-Christian already talked about. And life is eternal through this infinite essence, through sexual reproduction, and religion sustains it through holy covenants. And trying to clone yourself and put your brain on a robot to get rid of the people that you say are a threat to your greatness and your dominance and your keeping the world safe and controlling the world and making sure that the brain can solve every problem ever invented by man with another invention. The only thing that's going to save us from science is religion. And you don't have the right to disagree and walk away from me. You don't have the right to tell me that you don't believe my life when I am completely truthful, and I am like Muhammad, and I am like Jesus, and I am like Saladin, and I am like David, and I am like John. You don't have the right to disagree with me. You didn't fulfill the book. You didn't do what was necessary to redeem the truth of the book through the living word. I did. And I'm still doing it. And you're not doing it. I don't have to live the Lord's Prayer. I ask God for you don't ask God for anything. You praise the Lord for your faith in God, and then you do what the Lord tells you to do because He's worthy and you're not. Right? Okay, guys, we'll talk later. I don't know if I'll make another one tonight or not. We'll see how things go. I'm sitting here in this chair waiting on you. That's also a good falsetto voice. He said Eddie Holman. I was like, Eddie had one big hit, but I would say Kenji Brown. My first would be Russell Tompkins Jr., then Ted, then William Puhart, which would be right there. And I also thought Kenji Brown. He had about 5 really big hits. Let Me Be the First to Know, I Want to Get Next to You, You're My World Girl. What else? Kenji, he had a really good voice. Okay. But I was just sitting there with that kid. I was like, that's interesting that he was Ron. I thought Ron Banks was the guy that sang lead on The Rain and What You See Is What You Get. I didn't think that Ron Banks was, I want to go outside. I thought Ron Banks was but baby. I thought that was Ron Banks. But I was wrong. So, I love you guys, all right? We'll talk later. All right, peace.